This is an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder.
Sean Greasley is a Guinness World Record holder, but he didn't climb Mount Everest to do it. He did do something similar, though. He went up and down the stairs of his house, a distance of 29,031 feet, 5.5 inches. In other words, the equivalent of climbing Mount Everest. And it took him 22 hours, 57 minutes, and 2 seconds. You might ask yourself, why would he do this? And I'm going to ask him that right now. Sean joins us via Skype from Santiago, Chile. Hi, Sean.
Hi, how are you?
Just tickety-boo. Thanks very much for doing this. So, again, why would you do this?
Oh, that's a good question. Wow. I think everyone asks me that same question. To be honest, I'm not really sure is the real answer, but if you want to dig a little deeper, I like doing endurance challenges just to challenge myself. But when I did this, we were kind of coming out of COVID, so I don't know, I was sort of trapped indoors. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't have any goals anymore. My work situation suffered. I was going through a divorce. I felt like I needed pain or something, I don't know, or a sense of accomplishment, but I felt like I needed to suffer. I don't know, but I thought one of the best things would be to maybe do something indoors, like an activity or something like that. So I didn't really have much gym equipment, so I thought, why not climb the stairs? So I started with the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in Dubai. And then I thought, that was okay. So then I did something a bit taller, Ben Nevis, which is the tallest mountain in the United Kingdom. And then I thought, I wonder if I could do Mount Everest. So it sort of escalated from there. I didn't have any training for this. I do a little bit of running, but nothing specialist. I don't climb stairs every day or anything like that. So I'm actually quite surprised that I managed to make it and how fast I got up and down the sort of mountain from inside my own house.
You say you did this back in the days of the pandemic, but this is something that is kind of breaking now. It was in the news a little while ago. Why the lag time between when you did this event and the publicity that this event is now enduring?
That's a good question. So it was coming out of the pandemic. So where I was, it sort of dragged on for a good couple of years. So that would take it more into 2021. But you're correct. It's another 2 years on top of that. There's two reasons for that. When I did it, I made a video. I did a live stream. It got a little bit of attention, but I didn't really think it was a great achievement, not in the scale that it, went to when I made some videos and put them on Instagram a little later. I didn't really think much of it because I've done some other similar things in the past, so it sort of blended in. And one of my friends said, why don't you apply for a Guinness World Record? And I thought about it. I thought, why not? I don't have anything to lose. So I applied for a record, and it actually took Guinness World Records around 2 years to approve it. So when they finally put me on their website 2 years after doing the challenge, that's when everything sort of kicked off. My reels on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube were getting a lot more views, but it all stemmed from Guinness World Records sort of 2-year application process, wanting all the evidence, witness statements, and everything else. So getting a Guinness World Record, a lot of the effort is in the documentation sometimes, not necessarily the challenge. This is my second Guinness World Record, actually, so I'm quite familiar with the paperwork. It does take quite a long time to go through.
What was your first record?
My first record was the longest time playing a video game dance machine, which was for 38 hours nonstop.
Wow. Now, when you did that one, and also later when you did the stair climbing one, did you have in the back of your mind the idea that this will be a record, or did you just do it to do it?
The first record, yes, because Guinness World Records actually came to Las Vegas and they did a documentary on it. So they were there in the arcade filming the whole thing. So I knew that one was always going to be a Guinness record. And when Guinness come in person, you give them, $10,000. They can give you the certificate right there and then. If you want to do something by yourself, like in your house, and you don't want to give them, understandably $10,000 to come to your house and witness it, the process takes a lot longer. So when I did the Everest climb, I set up a charity event. I was raising money for suicide prevention. That was really the goal. It didn't really extend beyond that. I didn't mention Guinness or a world record attempt in any of my footage when I made the video. It's really just a personal accomplishment, and any money I made for that charity it was sort of a bonus. So Guinness wasn't even in my mind, until maybe a few months afterwards when my friend mentioned it.
When you did the stair climbing one, you set some rules on yourself from
Yes.
When you were doing this. One of the rules, which is, I think, very, very difficult considering the amount of times you climb the stairs, is that you weren't allowed, and this is your own rule, you weren't allowed to hold a handrail.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, 100%, yes.
Were there any other rules that you came up with before you started doing this climb?
I think that was the main one, because I just thought about watching this video back in a few years' time, and I'm pulling myself up with my hands. Granted, my shoulders would really hurt and maybe my forearms, but it just didn't really seem legitimate. Not that climbing stairs in your own house to simulate Mount Everest is legitimate, but it just felt more realistic not holding on to the handrail. Other than that, I didn't really set myself. Oh, there was one thing. I wasn't going to listen to any music. Everything would be quiet, or maybe because I had someone there supporting me, so I sometimes spoke with them. But no music, no entertainment, no TV, no movies, and no handrail. They were the only rules.
And we should also mention that the distance you traveled, that was considered just the stairs going up, not the stairs going down, correct?
It was 8.8 kilometers up, so that's roughly the height of Mount Everest, but also 8.8 going down. So the world record is the ascent and descent of Mount Everest. So there's a little bit of a confusion with that. People think it's only 23 hours just to go up. It actually includes the descent as well. A lot of people don't really think about that. So when you're going down the stairs, that really plays on your quads, on your knees, and a lot of people forget that. But the descent is actually included in the world record itself, and that is included in the time as well.
So now that you've gotten the recognition, and again, it's a couple of years after you did the actual feat, which you did in your house in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now that you have this recognition, besides talking to somebody like me, what is the recognition factor for you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really want any recognition. This record was always a personal challenge to myself. I do usually do something quite crazy every year, and this was just one that didn't really stand out to me. But after seeing everyone's reaction to this, like, oh my God, wow, that's crazy. I'm starting to realize that, maybe it was something quite accomplishing. But at the time and afterwards, it just felt like a normal crazy week for me, I suppose.
Now, in trying to get in contact with you to actually do this interview, in the email response back and forth, you said, one, I'm in a new country each month. You're now somewhere in Peru as we speak.
Yes.
Two, you're British. I'm now wondering, are you an MI6? Are you a double agent? Are you a spy?
A lot of people do say that. I've been to 24 countries this year. I actually have a travel channel on YouTube. I make videos in different countries. It's not the conventional videos where you go to restaurants and hotels, but looking at some, maybe abandoned buildings or doing challenges, or it could be going to dangerous areas, or just really speaking to the local people that don't get too much attention either in the media. And a lot of people don't really know too much about Peru, so it's just something to do. I guess you could call it my employment, my job. I don't really work professionally anymore. This seems to pay all the bills, and I'm quite content with that. So that's sort of the reason for traveling so much. It's sort of a job I enjoy, but I work for myself, so it keeps me sane and it keeps me happy. So I enjoy every moment of it.
So when you did have a quote-unquote day job, what was that?
I was a computer programmer in central London. I have a degree. I'm a software engineer. I spent almost 10 years working in offices, watching the days go by out of the window. And when I'd finish work, the sky was dark. I'd go home and wait for the next day of work. I felt like I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish, and I just didn't enjoy working 9 to 5. Maybe it sounds a little spoiled, but I personally believe that life is more than doing those things. So that's sort of why I quit in 2012 and moved to Las Vegas for 10 years and pursued something very different. Yeah.
So now that you have completed this, and again, it was a couple of years ago that you did this, is there any other feat that's on your horizon?
With regards to climbing stairs, I wanted to do Olympus Mons, which was the highest volcano or mountain, whatever you want to call it, on, is it the moon or Mars? I'm forgetting now. I didn't get much sleep last night, I'm sorry. But anyway, the height of Olympus Mons is 2.5 times the height of Mount Everest. So that would probably realistically take 72 hours, so that might be an interesting challenge. But other than that, I've done some running challenges. I've ran 200 kilometers non-stop. I've ran, one time the train was too expensive to London Heathrow Airport. So I decided to put on my shoes. I looked at the train tickets. They were too expensive. I put my shoes on 10 minutes later, and I ran 180 kilometers to the airport. When I arrived, I fell asleep instantly. I was waiting for my friend to arrive, and I got removed by security because they thought I was homeless. But these are the normal challenges that seem to happen every day in my life. But it's never something I plan. I never trained for the Mount Everest thing. It's just something I did after trying the Burj and Ben Nevis. Same with running to the airport. I decided 10 minutes before. So everything comes up spontaneously. And I think I like that. So I don't have anything planned, no.
Well, you're a very interesting character, and you say you have nothing planned, but I'm looking forward to whatever you do next. Sean.
Thank you so much.
Sean, thank you very much for being on the program with us. It's most appreciated.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening, and hello to everyone else listening. I hope you enjoyed it.
Guinness World Record holder Sean Greasley. You can go to our website at thestufffile.com, check out the show number for this program, which is show number 0798, and you'll find the link to Sean's YouTube page.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestufffile.com. Stuph is spelled S-T-U-P-H. That's thestufffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.